3 years after launching the PlayStation 5, Sony introduces a new form factor for the home console. This is the new, smaller PS5 model, commonly known, and how I'll be referring to it during this video, as the PS5 Slim. I'm going to run you through everything you need to know about this model, all the new and different features, and we'll figure out whether it's worth upgrading to or if the original one is good enough. Just like how the PS5 launched, there are two versions of the Slim model. One with the disk drive, like I have here, and one without. The biggest difference is that now the disk drive can be removed or added on later. By lifting the front end of this plate, you can access the drive. Then you lift from the backside to remove it entirely. If you have the disk version, there isn't really any reason to take the drive off, especially since it doesn't come with an extra cover plate to cover up the internals. This feature is aimed more at players who purchased the non-disc version of the console, once again called the Digital Edition, since all the games will have to be digital versions as opposed to a physical disc. If that person changes their mind, PlayStation is selling separate disc drives that you can attach for $80. It's worth noting that the console requires an internet connection when first using it with a disc drive attached, so keep that in mind if you're upgrading from one version to another. I'll be comparing the two disc versions of the consoles, since that's what I have here. The original model stands 15.4 inches high, 10.2 inches deep, and 4.1 inches wide. The Slim disc model stands 14.1 inches high, 8.5 inches deep, and 3.8 inches wide. The original's weight of just under 10 pounds drops to just over 7 for the Slim. As someone who travels often and takes game consoles with me to play, having a smaller and lighter PS5 is fantastic, since I was never going to try and fit the enormous launch model in my luggage. However, the Slim model still remains the largest of the three main consoles. In fact, I still can't fit it inside my IKEA shelving unit under my TV, like I do with everything else. For comparison's sake, here's the new PS5 Slim in a lineup with a few other consoles. The original PS5 came bundled with a stand that could position the console either vertically or horizontally, depending on your preference. Unfortunately, Sony has only packaged the Slim PS5 with these tiny feet to allow the console to sit horizontally. They're easy to attach by just pushing them into the little slots between the panels. I think this kind of looks like a goofy tripod setup. If you want to stand your PS5 Slim upright like I do, you're going to need to buy the $30 vertical stand that is sold separately. The front of the console has been slightly updated to now have two USB-C ports instead of one USB-C and one standard. The eject button down below has been moved onto the disk drive itself, which makes sense since they're now selling these separately. The power lights have been lengthened to go all the way down the front of the machine. The back is identical as far as ports, although now they're positioned in a different order for some reason. One of the most important points is that this isn't an upgraded console, it's just a new form factor. This means the Slim isn't faster, more powerful, quieter, etc. In fact, the only difference on the inside is that it now comes with 1 terabyte of storage instead of the 825 gigabytes that the launch models had. PlayStation does sell different cover plates for the original PS5. It goes without saying that those will not fit on the new console. Sony has stated it plans to sell new versions for the Slim model in early 2024. The Slim comes with the exact same DualSense controller as before. Now that we've laid out the differences, let's talk about the price. The original PS5 launched at $400 for the digital edition and $500 for the one with a disk drive. Over the years, PlayStation actually increased that default price in select markets around the world, but to keep things simple, I'll stick to the American pricing, which did not see a change. The Slim PS5 retails for $450 for the digital edition and $500 for the disk drive option. When it comes to what I recommend, if you're in the market for the disc version, get the new Slim model. It has a bit more storage and will take up less space on your shelf. But remember, if you stand your consoles upright, like I usually have to, you'll need that $30 vertical stand. When it comes to the digital edition, I'm having a hard time recommending the Slim. It's $50 more than the original version, and if you change your mind about a disk drive later, you have to put out another $80, making it more expensive than the disc version is to begin with. This means the digital version, which used to have a compelling price point reduction, just doesn't seem worth it if you're in the market for a PS5 right now. Sony says the Slim version is going to be the only option once they sell through the remaining launch model stock. I would keep an eye out for retailers trying to discount and move the older models if you're trying to find the cheapest option out there. For those of you who already have a PS5, I would recommend holding off and crossing your fingers for a Pro or more upgraded console, if that ever happens. There just aren't enough differences between the two models, especially since both allow you to increase the internal storage on your own. But what do you think? If you're shopping around for a PS5, what model are you looking at? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.